Hey everybody, welcome back to the Review Revolution. We're continuing our countdown to the number 1 figure from the DC Universe Wave 10. Taking a look, you can see the figures that we've already done. Forager, Robot Man, Beast Boy, and the beautiful Power Girl. Now I did say that Power Girl, I've said multiple times, that Power Girl really could have been the number 1 figure from this wave. And I would go so far as to say that with almost any other wave, I might have put her at the top. But with the 2 figures that are going to be remaining, she had to get pushed back to number 4. And for that same reason, this figure now goes to number 3. The Man-Bat. Awesome figure. Awesome figure in so many ways. His size is so huge that you can tell that they have his arms folded in the box just to get him to fit in there. If you bought him to keep him on display, I recommend trying to get one, or if you got one to leave in the pack, try to get one to open up and leave on display, because underneath those wings, behind those wings, is some great sculpting pants and just a lot more figure to really appreciate. Now, the Man-Bat always seemed a bit like the Lizard to me, at least the DC version of him. Just like the Lizard, scientists kind of playing around with animal DNA and turning into something not quite human. But let's take a look at his actual bio. Again, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the packaging. I mean, these are the other figures in the wave, you can see. But Dr. Let's try that again. Dr. Robert Kirk Langstrom hoped to cure his growing deafness by creating a serum that would give him a bat's ability of echolocation. Interesting how echolocation is used for blind, not deaf. However, the serum robbed him of his intelligence and transformed him into the man-sized bat, resulting in a crazed rampage through Gotham City. Langstrom retooled his formula, allowed him to retain his intelligence, and is occasionally the ally of Batman. Excuse me. First appearance, Detective Comics number 400. That's June 1970. Real name, Robert Kirk Langstrom. Occupation biologist. Base of operations, suburban Gotham City. Powerful wings allow flight, superhuman strength, and ability to navigate in the dark. So he is literally a Man-Bat. Just in the pack, you can already see how much taller he is, or he's going to be, than these other figures. But at this point, we're going to go ahead and pop him open. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the figure and have some fun. So be right back. So there we go, Man-Bat. Just having him out of the pack, just opening him up, you can see he is a dominant figure. He just takes up so much of the screen here. And I haven't moved the camera. It's in the same place. And he's just that big, that huge. A lot of good things to talk about here. I do want to get one bad thing out of the way, though, because I mentioned it when I first started. I said that when I got these figures, these were the last ones on the shelf, and that they look kind of picked over because of one in particular. Man-Bat is the one. The reason for that is because if you look on his arm, there is a chunk of plastic out of his hand. Now, it doesn't seem to cause a lot of articulation issues with the hand, but it's also not one I'm not going to tempt fate. I'm not going to be messing around with him a whole lot. Beyond that, though, really good. Really great figure. This certainly could have been number 1, same as Power Girl. Definitely could have been number 1, just because of the other 2 that are coming up, and you know who they are. He definitely earned his spot in number 3. To go ahead and go over it now. Few things to mention. I always want to throw a little bit of trivia in, if I know it. As most people probably already know, this is not an original sculpt. This was actually the San Diego Comic-Con figure. At least the white version of it was. And one difference from what I've read was that on the back, now the back here has this great sculpted plastic piece that's put on of his fur. From what I've read, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but that this was actually flocked. He actually had actual fur on his back. And in this case, they just went ahead and made it out of plastic, which I never had the original. I haven't shelled out for it, so I don't miss. This, to me, looks great. Get a close look at that face. Oh, man, that is just gorgeous. Look at the detail on that. The inner part of his ear, his jaw, that face. Really, really a great figure. And the only one so far that has any kind of up or down. The head does twist around like so. He's got his crunch, got a good crunch too. I mean, you can really get a good pose out of him with that. The arms spin all the way around. They come out. Twist of the bicep. Elbow. And I got to move him way off screen to do this. And on the wrist. Now, one of the things I really like about the Man-Bat character, about the design on Man-Bat, is that he's a flying character whose wings are actually on his arms. They're not like Hawkman or Angel, who've got wings on their back, but rather wings on their arms. Oh, and of course, he's got the pivot on the waist. He's got it at the leg. There's no thigh twist, but the reason for that being is that he does have a bend at the knee, and actually, I know this sounds weird, at his ankle. So that is the actual ankle for Man-Bat. So like a dog or a cat or some other animal, he's got kind of this double jointed section here where he stands on his tiptoes, and that's the rest of his foot. But he doesn't have a twist at the thigh, which is fine. You don't even notice it. You won't even miss it. The colors are great. The blue on his pants, the brown, the highlights. I don't know if you can really see it very well, but there is a slightly translucent type of effect going on with the wings, making them very leathery. You can see the veins, just like you would in a real bat. And even on his body, you can see kind of scratches and damage. They go all the way down to the pants where they're all torn up and beat up and just in bad shape. So again, really fabulous character. You know, look at that head. That right there is a seller right there. Beautiful. So that's the number 3. His joints are actually in pretty good shape. He stands up pretty well. And like I said, despite not having the thigh, the twist on the thigh, I do believe that there's going to be some really great poses that you'll be able to get him in and display him real well with some of the other Gotham-themed Batman family. But that is Man-Bat. Now our number 5. 5 out of 7. Stay tuned. We'll have the next 2, the last 2, coming up. And I'll see you then. Oh, okay. I didn't forget. I really didn't. Man-Bat does come with the left arm of Imperiex. So I didn't forget that. He has it. He does have it. And as a matter of fact, it really shows you how big Man-Bat is when this is Imperiex's arm. But just want you to throw that in there. He does come with the arm of Imperiex, and we'll see him put together real soon. Thanks.